here today for a journey into realms of innovation, knowledge, and inspiration. I am Manasi Kushwaha. Welcome you all to Techfest 2023. Today, we are diving into the hearts of Techfest Iit Bombay. Techfest is the annual science and technology festival of Indian Institute of Technology Bombay, consisting of social initiatives and outreach programs throughout the year. Started in 1998 to provide a platform for Indian student community to develop a showcase their technical prowess with a footfall of 1.75 lakhs in the latest edition. Let's witness what it has to offer. was the after movie of Techfest 2022. To kickstart the lecture series, today we have Shri Akash Ambani, Chairman Reliance Jio Infocom, largest telecom business company in the India. Let's welcome Akash Ambani, Shri Akash Ambani on the stage. Today, we are fortunate to have Mrs. Shraddha Sharma. She is an Indian journalist and entrepreneur. She is the founder of Your Story. So let's welcome her on the stage. And joining, we have Professor Ravindra Digudi, Dean ACR, sir. Now, I'll request Professor Narandola, Dean of Now I'll request someone from Techfest family to give a welcome token to Shri Akash Ambani, sir. Now, I'll request Techfest team member to present welcome token to Mrs. Shraddha Sharma. Now, I'll request Techfest member to present welcome token to Professor Ravindra Digudi, Dean ACR. So, now I'll hand over to Mrs. Shraddha Sharma.
Hello, can you hear me, all of you? Yes, yes. मतलब ये एनर्जी नहीं है. Everyone behind and everyone, can you hear me? Yes, good. You know, so Akash, I have to tell you this, that I've been hearing since last 1 or 2 months that there is a movie which is doing very well, and it's called Animal. And every week after week, house full ho raha hai, which is, you know, very good after pandemic, people are going, and it is a house full movie. And somewhere I've not gone and seen it, and I don't know about it. But mujhe lag raha hai, to see you and meet you today, we have a house full. And all of you, please give a big round of applause to yourself for coming here. And hopefully we are going to have a very, very good conversation. I'm very excited to be talking to you. But sabse pehle, I want to ask you this question. How does it feel to be in IIT Mumbai?
Afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good end of the year. For me, to be at IIT Bombay is a part of my bucket list item because I'll just share a small story and the motivation to be here. My father, one of my biggest inspirations and heroes, is always wanted me to be an engineer. Full disclaimer, I'm not an engineer. So to be invited at an engineering college of such stature has been an honor for me. In fact, he was not believing that I was going to come and speak here, so he sent my wife Shloka, who was kind enough as witness to be here with us today. So, uh, really, really happy to be here, and I'm quite excited to talk to you guys.
Thank you for coming here. And I have to say this on behalf of Techfest Iit Bombay that you are here. It means a lot to everyone because none of us in this room are unaware. In fact, we are all, in a way, very, very proud of what Reliance, what Jio has done for India. And I was telling you backstage, I come from Bihar. And for us, communication, way of living, and everything back home changed. And सब कोई आजकल प्राइड से कह सकता है कि जियो है. And a lot of love is happening, a lot of impact is happening, a lot of connection is happening because of Jio. And Akash, I want to ask you, this is a new India, and you are a leader, business leader, tech leader of new India. You're driving this. You're the chairman of Reliance Jio. I want to ask you to take us through a bit of your personal journey. And, what are the principles that drive this entrepreneurship, this innovation? What are the principles that drives you?
From my perspective, I always think that you make life through inspirations, and I was lucky to have my inspirations right at my house in terms of my grandfather, my father, and my mother. And from a very young age, whilst I was growing up, the talks at home, of course, used to be around what's good for India, and that has resonated with me, throughout my life. And today, if I have to say, what we're trying to pursue at Reliance is equal to what India is trying to pursue on a global. So we've always at Reliance believed that, that what's good for India is good for Reliance. And that's something that I've heard throughout my formative years and childhood years. And that's something that is very ingrained in my mind from that perspective. And for me, my personal journey, I'm very, very lucky to be working in an area I've been deeply passionate about. I've been obsessed with technology since my father got his first phone in late 2003. And for me, what technology really does, from an obsession of changing languages on a Siemens S45 phone, what I realized, it's a great equalizer tool. It crosses the boundaries of demographics, it crosses the boundaries of caste, it crosses the boundaries of, borders. And you self said it, that you come from Bihar, and to them, a geo service is no different from a service that we have in our top cities. So the power of technology to be an equalizer in today's society is something that has always deeply inspired me. And what makes us most proud at Geo is the products and services that we roll out, but the amount of lives that we're changing on a daily basis. That's what motivates me personally to come to work every morning and try to improve a billion people's lives. And that's really where this fascination comes from. And it also keeps me, I've recently become a father, so it also keeps me young to be working in an area that I'm deeply passionate about.
Yeah, no, I can only say on behalf of everyone here in this room that more power to you. And we hope that you continue to work as deeply and as passionately, because in your work, you are making sure that we should not forget that we are a country of 1.4 billion people. And also a country which celebrated when it came to tech, what was in the West. And today we all can say, among many, many things, that we have a geo in our country. And that brings me to this question, Akash, is, in tech, and we are at Techfest, in the tech world, things change fast. Everything is changing so fast, and we are in the era of AI now. How do you, as an organization, as a company, make sure that, this mindset and this culture of innovation remains, and how do you drive that continuously?
It's an interesting question. I'll try to summarize it into a couple of key points. In technology, you're always working on the next idea for the next decade, right? You're working on technologies that will probably surface into the consumer point of view in maybe 5, 7, 10 years from now. Areas like brain compute, quantum computing. We're right now in the age of data science, and the talks about that started about 5 or 6 years ago. So we'll always keep a keen eye on the formative technologies that can shape society and benefit a lot of people. And but from my point of view, we've always kept a keen eye to innovate at a customer level. That's something that we've been focused at Geo for many quarters now, and saying, how do we really keep the customer in our mind when we're coming to our innovations? The example that our most recent launch has been on Jio Bharat, which is our 4G smartphone that we've just launched, and that's a compelling story. We still, when Jio launched, there were about 50 crore Indians that didn't have access to data, and from that perspective, that story still lives today. I mean, there's still about 20 crore people that don't have access to data. So when we're talking about innovation, we want to do it at a ground level that makes a difference to each and every person's life. And from that perspective, we want to make sure that our innovation impacts every Indian, and that's exactly what we've done with Jio Bharat, launching it at a sub 1,000 rupee, which has the full capability of a good smartphone in terms of media streaming, webs, and all our communication applications. So that's something. And on the other hand, we're also working on high-grade technologies of having blockchain and AR, VR into our portfolio of products and services. But again, the thread that connects all of these things is really what customer problem are we trying to solve, and how will that really benefit India? So
Yeah, uh, I get very inspired because most of us here, sitting here, come from India, come from Bharat. And again, Akash, when you say that at the heart of it, you're thinking about customer, you're thinking about customers from across the country. This is you thinking about the 1.4 billion people in our country. And brings me to my next question, which is, India, at least when I was growing up, we always used to look at West, or when it came to, again, I'm saying technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, startups, references were to West. But today we are living in an India, we are proud of this India, and if I have to say that, the best place when it comes to innovation and everything is today India. I want to ask you, how do you see digital technologies shaping the course of, the next 10 years when we are saying that we will be the most advanced country in the world?
I think India is on a path of going from our $3 trillion economy to the next 5 or 6 trillion dollar economy in the coming years. And in this decade, we'll definitely see this happen, right? I don't think about digital technologies as an industry. It's really an enabling tool that will go across industries to make sure that people adopt it for higher efficiency, higher outcomes, and from that point of view, I think we'll have to shape each industry as it goes, and that's something that we will keep on working at. For us, what is so important is that to make all technologies consumable. We are very invested in our research and development center, but as invested as we are is to launch products and services that can go across industries. We've 5G private networks is something that we're very excited about. That each enterprise, whether no problem of its size, whether it's an MSME or a medium enterprise or a large enterprise, can come up with its own enterprise application sitting on top of our 5G stack. So that's something that we're very, very cognizant about. And for us, it's very important that we have an ecosystem of development that we drive across all points. And that's something that we're working, and that's a vision of Geo 2.0 that we are working on.
You know, I was checking this. In 2020, you were included in the Fortune 40 list of successful young entrepreneurs. Given all this success and early success, you're young. What's your ambition, moving forward with Geo, and especially in the context of AI?
Let me first talk about the 40 under 40. I believe that I've always been brought up in a team culture. So the achievement is for all of the people that are working at Geo who are under the age of 40, but our average age that we have at Geo is 30. So I'm only the flag bearer of the achievement, but the hard work is done by each and every one who contributes to Geo. So that's something that I truly believe. In terms of Geo, we've always founded Geo as a digital society company and enabling that for India. Of course, we first had to tackle the connectivity part, because without that basic infrastructure, information would not be accessible to the whole of India. And that's what we did in Geo 1.0. We really made information available to now a 500 million user base. And in terms of AI, I think it's going to transform every area of products and services. We're working very hard to launch AI not only as a vertical inside our organization, but also horizontally across all our sectors. So you'll see us really focused on launching products and services in the media space, in the commerce space, of course, in the communication stack, too, and all across our devices. We've been working on our own OS for a while now for the TVs, and we're comprehensively thinking about how to launch it. On a lighter note, my brother-in-law was showing me an AI application that sets the temperature of his mattress last night. It's really going to consume everything. I think what's important in this age, and as we go into this fourth industrial age, is AI for everyone. And to me, yes, AI stands for artificial intelligence, but it also stands for all included. So that's something that I truly believe in, and unless we give it in forms of consumable products and services, and I think we've just scratched the surface with, large language models and generative AI, and the next decade is going to be defined by these applications. I think, again, drawing back to how it can impact society at a large, we're working, right, I mentioned, across all our consumer ecosystems to launch AI services and products that people can consume. But I think the transformative areas of AI that will be is what can we do it for social good. And, the applications that we'll see in healthcare and education is the need of the hour, and that's something that, I believe will transform India and leapfrog India. And from my perspective, technologies, once you launch good products and services, technology have no barriers, whether it be national borders. This is something that we can scale globally, and that's definitely an aspiration that we have at Geo, that in the coming years / decades, that we are able to make India world-class products from India for the world. So that's something that we are continuously having a eye on, and we hope that we'll be able to launch such services that makes India and Indians very proud.
All the very best. Yeah. I say that we say, most of you in this room, we've been talking about, we say that, oh, look at WhatsApp, the number of users. But I always, whenever one is traveling, we say, oh, look at Geo and the number of users and the diverse set of users, right? Brings me to my next question, Akash. Is in a company of your size, right? Like, which is We see this as a huge, huge, large enterprise organization. How do you, how do you continuously maintain the culture of entrepreneurship and innovation? Because it becomes hard, right? When you are so large.
Uh, you know, we I've thought about this a lot, and the first point I want to make is, you it comes to company organization design, and from our perspective, we've always organized ourselves in extremely small teams. We call ourselves the largest startup in the world, but fundamental to that is a culture that we've tried to imbibe within Geo. And for us, uh, we have extremely small teams working on focused tasks, and that really gives us a methodology of try fast and fail even faster, and that is the journey of an entrepreneur, right? To keep on trying things and pushing that innovation to new and new limits. Um, on a lighter side, we have a culture at Reliance to be working quite late in the evening. So we've organized each team so each team should be able to satisfy themselves by organizing in two pizza teams. So that's a culture of Geo that we have, that all our teams are organized that for dinner when they're at office, they can, be happy with two pizzas across the table. So that's something that we've really, really imbibed on. And the main thing here is to, keep that try and fail fast mindset and adaptability and agility. That's something that we focused on, and we're enabling it through this organization structure.
And if I had to ask you on behalf of many people who would be thinking about starting up, about their own entrepreneurial endeavors, doing something, what would you say? Like, I don't want to use the word guiding principle, but what would you say that they should keep in mind from your journey, your experience?
It's just been a decade for me to be working in the corporate world of India, so I'm not sure I have enough wisdom to give guiding principles on a successful business venture. But from my perspective, things that I've lived by in my life, right, and this has come from a very young age, is always work for the good of society. I think that's something that has been, um, and especially when you're in the consumer space, right? In that, you have to think about your consumers and think about what are you really trying to change their life. The second point comes from being deeply passionate of what you want to work about, and that continues to be the driving energy force behind you on an everyday basis. Being in running a business is like permanently being in a driver's seat, right? You can't be very, very distracted at all points of time. So, from our perspective, from my perspective, I've always said that if you don't enjoy, and as cliched as it sounds, if you really don't enjoy it, then, you're not going to get that. The second point that I've always, don't be afraid of failure. I think that's something that I'm lucky that my parents have been able to guide us and say that it's okay if you fail. It's important to recognize when it happens and take those steps to really change that quite quickly and course correct. But failure, I was at a recent speech of Prime Minister Modi, and he said, and this was at the Olympic Committee event, the International Olympic Committee that we held in Mumbai. And I said, when you're part of a process, there will come bumps, there will come successes, there will come failures, but you have to take the failures as your learnings. There are only winners and learners. There's no winners and losers. So that's something that really resonated with me and throughout that. And the last point I think is always be honest to yourself. I think that's something that I've tried to do, reflect at the end of every day of what you could do better and what you could change in your life. So that's something that I've always lived my corporate life with, and it's kept me in good stead till now, and I hope that these values stay on forever and gets imbibed in the culture of Reliance.
Yeah, you know, for a 30, how old are you?
32, but
Like, year old, there's a lot of wisdom. And what I am picking up, Noah Akash, from you is that humility is, it's the most powerful and the most attractive trait, and you have that. And if you have humility, then you have learning mindset and wisdom mindset. So yes, um, this question I'm going to read because this is uh, something I have written down, that Reliance Jio and Techfest IIT Mumbai partnered together in 2014 for the launch of Jio 4G, which was followed by 3 years of title sponsorship. Last year, Techfest acted as a medium for IIT Bombay to transition to full 5G campus, being one of the first college in the country to do so. And, and today we also in a way celebrate a decade of this partnership. What do you have to say about this partnership and nurturing this kind of a corporate enterprise and institution, academic institution partnership?
firstly, for me, I think it's a matter of great pride. 2013 is when I joined the company. So I remember coming back, Pankaj and Ashish, my colleague, Srini are here, and I remember having the conversation of our collaboration. To be back here at an engineering school is a great pride for me. From our perspective, I very excited about what we can potentially do in the future. We've had a few good conversations today about how we can take our learnings and extend that. Also, we've been working on a project with IIT Bombay to launch a Bharat GPT program. So that's something that I think more and more of such programs that we'll be able to launch will really make both the organizations learn multifold. And I think that, you know, you've always pushed the boundaries of innovation at IIT Bombay, and that's something that we've also been part of our culture at Reliance Jio. So I think we can really, really extend it. And for me, I always say this, that empowering the youth is a very, very core critical mission of ours. They'll always push us to think out of the box and push the needle of innovation for us. I welcome each and every IIT student that wants to be in our campus and add value to Reliance Jio is with open arms. So that's something that I think we can really foster over the next decade, and hopefully this relationship becomes a multi-decade relationship and grows from strength to strength.
Yes. And I have rapid fire questions, but before that, sir, if you have a question to ask.
Yeah, Akash, really great to have you and such powerful messages that you have. Technology leadership, um, rather than say east to west technology migration, east to global technology migrations, making that impact, global impact, developing products for the global market. I think Reliance has just been the pioneer in this aspect. And it's really nice that, you've been here with us in terms of inspiring all our students to be able to, take up this as one of the missions. Um, I would also like to say that, you said about AI and an alternate definition of AI being all inclusive. And that really talks about, the drive from your side, and as a very important message, looking at creating societal impact, taking, I would say, PM Modi's objective of Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. So really inspiring messages. Thank you very much. But I would also, on the behalf of all the students, ask you a question. Um, you graduated from Brown University in majoring in economics. Well, I think, I'm sure all of the audience would agree that you still look like you are in college. Don't look that you graduated from college, you still look very much a college student. But just thinking back to your college years, what is it that you would have done differently? Just looking back, what is it that you felt you would have done differently?
Hindsight is the greatest tool. No, definitely try to pursue an engineering degree. But, I was very fortunate to have a very good college experience. From my perspective, I think college is, when I look back at it, college is the best time of your life. There's no doubt to me about it. The couple of things that I would do probably differently is I would learn from my classes, but I would learn from my classmates even more. That's something that I was uh, not as focused on whilst I was in college. Of course, it was my first experience in America, living outside home. So, as a good Indian student, you want to be at the top of your class, but that's something that I would focus on more. And I would look at the whole college experience as a wholesome experience. If I look back today and say what's the best part of college is really the friends I made, and really focus more on that. As the educational experience of college is also important, but I think the social experience of college comes as important as that. So that's something that I would do a little bit differently than what I did in my 4 years at Brown. But I firmly believe that college is the best time of anyone's life, at least till you're.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Over to the rapid fire.
Yes.
But,
And
but, but,
see
but let
everyone.
me just add, I think the point that you made about the network, the students, the friends that you make, I think one of the key learnings in IIT, and I'm sure all the IIT students would agree, is what we carried as a treasure was the summary of our late night CAC sessions. I would say starting at maybe 10 p.m. in the night and running all the way up to 4 a.m. in the morning on any aspect and every aspect with no holds barred. And that really helped build our personalities, helped our debating skills, analytical skills. Yeah. Certainly we rhyme very well with that, what you said.
Thank
So,
you.
over to.
You had a clap on this so that everyone, now we know all the students agree that being in college is the best time of your lives. And the year is coming to an end. So hopefully all of you will have time to think and reflect and see that how do you, based on what you said is, while you do everything, how do you learn and how do you engage and how do you make friends in college? Because that will hold you very, very strongly and steadily. And Akash, now with this, we will come to the rapid fire round. Are you ready for this?
I hope there's no hamper at the end.
No, but there's no hamper or nothing it is. We will only have claps. So, I will say a word and you have to say what that means to you. So my first word for you is success.
Something that you should strive for.
Good. Money.
A byproduct of service to the country.
And what comes to your mind when I say, ये अच्छे से ताली बजा दो ना तुम लोग. मतलब ऐसे students हो, you're living the best time of your life, so you can clap also like with full gusto. And if I ask you, India, what comes to your mind?
The cradle of the world and the biggest innovation center for the next coming decades.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And again, I said end of the year. If I have to ask you, maybe you can say for next year. But otherwise, what comes to your mind when I say dream? A dream. Dream.
India to win the T20 Cup.
I can go on and on and on, but this was fantastic. And everyone, let's give a big, big round of applause to Akash Ambani. And, you were honest, you were straightforward, you spoke from the heart, and you spoke about the country. And you know, what I'm taking is the authenticity. And I hope that all of us in this room think about our country, like you're thinking about India, be it AI to anything, it has to include everyone, and you're thinking like that. Akash Ambani, very proud of you, and hope you continue to take India forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very happy 2024. I'm especially excited for the new year. Of course, my brother is getting married in 2024, so it's a special matter for us as a family. But all the best for 2024, and hope all your dreams come true in this year.
Yes. Thank you, and everyone, for being a great audience. And I hope you had a very good time. So all the very best. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Now, I would request Shobit, overall coordinator, to bring the memory booklet, and I request Sri Akash Ambani sir to sign in it. Now, I would request Professor Surya Narayan Dola, Dean of Student Affairs, to present a special memento to Sri Akash Ambani sir. Now, I would request Prakhar to present a memento to Mrs. Shraddha Sharma. A heartfelt thank you to our esteemed speaker, Mrs. Shraddha Sharma. Your presence has truly enriched our event. We extend our gratitude to Sri Akash Ambani sir for gracing us with his presence and contributing to success of our gathering. Your collective presence has made us a truly special event. Thank you all.